Hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games. Welcome back to part 15 of my Burgundy campaign here in Hearts of Iron for the New Order. Today, we try to deal with a famine while simultaneously still investigating into a lot of this stuff. Yeah, where are we at? Are we working on anything else right now? Yeah, we're founding an old thing. We infiltrated the safe house successfully. Let's try to stake out the safe house. Safe steakhouse. Steak safe house. House steak is safe. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Camping. Yeah, this is an issue. What are we gonna do about all of this? Okay, I'm putting more laborers, a bunch of laborers here in Normandy, but you know they die, so it's kind of okay. There, 10 laborers and 2 security police. Oh man, this is not good. Yeah, I think we have to rush this this famine stuff. Okay. On paper, the first fest was a good idea. Many Frenchmen in the newly occupied regions stuck to their traditional form of cooking despite their limited access to ingredients from the rations. Too many times did the garrison soldiers of the newly christened Sans Francs walk through the small town smelling the distinctly un-German smells of brioche or baguette. So, why not introduce them to the world-famous German kitchen? Standardführer Karl Varham had figured. German food was, after all, universally recognized as the best in the world. Karl was not entirely sure how his plan had ended him here in a labor camp alongside thousands of Untermensch who probably would have killed him in his sleep if he had not successfully passed for Dutch due to his Wilhelmshaven accident. He stared into his bowl of gruel and tried to pinpoint the time where things had gone wrong. Yeah, what did go wrong? Why wouldn't he... Yeah, what the heck? Let's see here... Everybody knew that. Okay, so basically he wrote to Paris and asked for meat so he could make German food. Everyone knew that surprise confiscations was how meat was usually obtained following the cessation of food shipments from the Reich. That left the only other... He failed to keep the worst fest a local secret. Endless lines would show up looking for beer. The line was so long it reached the next village over. Damned Untermensch, he should have never shown them to appreciate German food. Okay, so basically when he got the meat, he caused a riot. And, yeah, the worst fest. Academic base societal development will begin to slowly worsen. I should learn how to cook some more food. I know how to cook a lot of food, but... I should, like, spin a globe and pick up region of the world and try to cook food from there. And then fail because I won't have access to the ingredients. Because a lot of global food, at least in my experience, is sometimes just a local version of, you know, I don't know, what would be an example? Like chicken soup or something. A lot of local, regional versions of chicken soup or whatever is just... You make your chicken soup, you know, you put in your carrots and your celery and you make your base, and then you just add insert local spice or whatever, or insert local grain or whatever, you know. But something like really different. Like I think I've talked about this before, how on live streams, how I really enjoy cooking and I like to cook food from all over the world because it's like the beauties of living in the 21st century, right? You can we can... Wait. Move around SS officers. Mass arrests. Yeah, I guess now we just can use this to improve our domestic situation. Let's kind of keep Charlemagne in line and try to get Langemark back, I guess. Like, some of my favorite foods to cook is I like to make... my favorite genres, I guess you could say, of food is I really like to make Indian food, and I really like to make Caribbean food, and both of them are fundamentally for the same reasons. Lots of spices! And remember, God gave us food, but the devil made spice. What is this? Clinking gears and empty fields. Ordensstaat rises. The mass force shift from agricultural to an industrial economy is not without minor and temporary setbacks. Sudden transition in labor allocation has resulted in a collapse in agricultural yields, and similarly, a rapid depletion of food supplies. Especially thanks to the high standards at which the Burgundian way requires the Untermensch to produce, there is little hope of sustaining our population's caloric needs indefinitely. Sacrifices will need to be made, naturally among our less essential populations, but perhaps even among some of our less pure Aryans as well. We will thus begin drawing up plans to liquidate unperforming workers at the discretion of local commissars. However, the number of subhumans we have to sacrifice for our goals is of course a non-issue. We are merely concerned with fulfilling our needs of supply and demand. The state cannot fail. And I don't think we could just eat the starving workers, because I learned this once, but it's not a good idea in the long term to eat people who've starved to death. One of the problems is a lack of nutritional value. Because they starved. They don't have very much in them. But there's supposed to be other issues. Okay, our food balance is still deteriorating. So on paper, it makes sense that we should give food for those who matter, but it's going to hurt our industrial capacity. Simple ration. Population growth will fall. We'll unlock ability to expand storage capacity. Well, these aren't mutually exclusive. Or, oh, no, I think they will be because there's going to be the priority flag. Emergency stockpile measures. Unlock ability to expand food stores by ensuring the other worthy never receive what they haven't earned. We could tear down brutalist cities. I haven't even made any. Final measures. I think we should probably at least come down here and develop new fertilizers so we can increase our base. Sam Pride, the list of life. Are we going to do Schindler's List? Except it's for saving Aryans. Crack the whip, waste not or want not. Yeah, this seems good. This seems good. Let's go down to grab those fertilizers first. Every able man is important. Although, if we do this, we can decrease how much is being consumed. The thing is, we really need those workers for a lot of stuff. We've got to build uranium mines and things. On the other hand, the security police right now are severely outnumbered. Yeah, we've got to take care of them. Food for those who matter. It matters not whether the people have enough to eat if the men guiding them are starving. If the Ordensstaat's leaders are malnourished, it risks putting everything that the Reichsführer SS has worked towards in jeopardy. They will be sluggish and prone to error. And in the tense world of today, that cannot be tolerated. The answer is clear. The leaders need to eat first. Starting with those of the Reichsführer SS is deemed to be of utmost priority. Those of vital importance to the Ordensstaat shall have their daily fill. Yeah. Yeah, that's like my job as a mailman. So because we get every 6 hours, you're supposed to take 2 10-minute breaks and a lunch period. And the lunch will get deducted from your paycheck after 6 hours anyway, so you might as well take it. But the thing was, because like I would, especially early on when I started that job, I really wanted to perform well. So I would sometimes not take my lunch break, because I kind of was used to it anyway. Most of my life, I've taken jobs that don't. I've worked jobs that didn't have a lunch break. Hold on. You know what? We're not going to be doing any of this stuff for a little while. Let's leave that be. Let's get another uranium mine up and running. Like we can't forget about these things. Central Suit, we have a lot of untapped uranium remaining. So let's expand that. And but what I definitely eventually found is it's better to just take those breaks, because yes, you're going to lose 10 minutes of working, of delivering and organizing and whatnot, but just those little breaks, it lets your body and your mind just relax for a little bit, and then when you come back, you're better. So it really makes a difference, especially when you're doing like a 10-12 hour day. Like you're not going to be it's not going to make or break you to to work for 10 more minutes, especially when it's less effective. Same thing with studying. You know, you're going to be more efficient doing that during the day than when you're all tired in the middle of the night. Not all hours are created equal. Oh, I don't give a damn. Alright, what was I talking about, though, a minute ago? I was talking about something else. Food for those who matter, emergency stockpiles. Oh, yeah, I was talking about food I like. Yeah, so I like spices. And, but, like, I also, my favorite fish recipe that I personally know how to make is this Ghanese one, but it's with Pacific fish, but it's a Ghana recipe, so I figure it must stem from, like, colonial times. Anyway, bread for the soldiers. The strength and greatness of the Ordensstaat is undeniable. Where else in history has there been such a nation that prioritizes efficiency over degeneracy? So yeah, we're gonna prioritize the Aryans. This is basically what it's saying. The SS needs food because the SS is what runs the country. They're the, you know, that's the whole point of the nation. Okay, now let's go down to food production. Emergency stockpile measures. Some are more important than others. This will inevitably require the requisition of food allocations from those less deserving who will face their reckoning in the coming struggles. Is there anything I want to do down in South Africa? Could stabilize the Boers some more. How are they doing? I think they've taken 1 or 2 more tiles. Wow, their war support is garbage. You know what? I would stable the Boers if they had a tree. That's what I'll say. So we're not going to do anything there. Oh yeah, we want to sow discontent in America. Let's try to remember to do that at some point. We want to make things a little difficult for Bennett, who's up for re-election in about a year and a little bit change. Okay, we're not getting the military austerity stuff. I don't know why I even bother with this stuff. We're just broke as a joke. You know what? I don't need to be constructing so much anymore. Oh, wait, that costs political power every time I change it. No! Damn it. What was even the freaking point? Still running up a huge deficit. You know what? Okay. What did that... You know what? I'm making a call here. That was a mistake. We're gonna put it back up. What the heck? Didn't I... Oh no, I only did it once. Okay, yeah. So once... So then I got myself 50. I wasted 25. I gave myself 50, and I had to spend 25 to get back there. So we're even. Cool. I think I did that right. Okay, expand the camps. No. What's going on? Am I doing any investigations? I forget. Let's try to do something with Charlemagne. Yeah, let's install the cameras. No, none of this is going to work. We're just rolling the die, except the die's got like 20 sides. And we need we need a nat 20 every time, practically. Okay, yeah, so let's go ahead and sow that discontent. After that, though, we need to focus on uranium again. Now, food production. Develop new fertilizers. Yeah. Another thing, though, that you kind of see wherever you go in the world, a lot of it is just how to do the local grain and legume. You know, rice and beans. That's the key to it all. And I'll say this. I actually, even though I've been born and raised in El Paso, Texas, there is definitely good Mexican food here. But I really just feel like Caribbean food is just a straight-up improvement on it. Like, I don't like Mexican rice. The orange stuff, you know, that just doesn't do it for me. It's very plain. And frankly, I'd almost rather take plain white rice than the yellow stuff because it's just so nothing. It's like brewing an extremely... It's like if you... Do you want to drink water? Or do you want to drink... Like, let's say somebody put in front of me, okay, here's 2 liters of water. Or, here's 2 liters of tea, but all 2 liters have been made using 1 tea bag. So it's like, then you're sipping it and you're just going, well, this doesn't even... It's just like dirty water at this point. It's not like there's flavor. Okay, let's try to stake the safe house out again. We just need to be constantly doing this. Just roll those die over and over again. So I much prefer Caribbean style rice, be it Cuban or Puerto Rican or whatever. But there is good Mexican food. They do good stuff with meat. But still, I lean over here in terms of the flavor. Arabic food could be good too, or kind of like Middle Eastern. Again, the interesting spices they mess with. But I don't know. Maybe I should just like spin a globe and throw a dart at a part of the world and learn how to make something. I also like to make pho. I was actually making pho literally every day. Let's see. Right now it's February. I want to say back in April, May, I was having like at least a cup of pho every single day because the local market that I go to, because there's two markets. By the way, we're just killing time while we do all these things. That's why I'm just chatting about this stuff. The local market where I would there's two that I go to. Let's search the catacombs. One of them, I usually don't go to get regular stuff like my day-to-day food. Like I don't get vegetables from there because it's just more expensive than my usual place. But what I will give it is that they specialized assistance. Wait, let me look at the thing. Yeah, but they'll have really good meat deals, and they had a crazy deal on beef shank. So I bought a bunch of that, and I threw it in my freezer, and I would just take some out periodically, and I would just keep rotating, making more and more pho. Because of course, you know, when I would make pho, I would make it in bulk. So I'd have a big bowl of it, and then I would just take at least a bowl out every day. So we can make our way over to modern agriculture if we wanted to, if we do specialized assistance. The trend is fine, sorta, right now. I think it could wait. Oh, look, we can do food for factories. We shall attempt to prioritize both parts of our population. Doing this will allow us to avoid negative consequences, but both workers and SS pops will consume the same amount of food. Should any deficits occur, both our industry and our surveillance will suffer. Doing so will require we have at least 1,500 units of food in reserve. So it's basically telling me you can get away with this if you're good enough. Steal civilian food stores. This will grow food stores by 2,000 units, but population growth will fall. I just don't know. No, come on. We're friggin' Burgundy. We know what we are, and what we are is evil. So we're gonna establish the priority lists. There's one thing we believe in. It's the hierarchy around here. We're going to take things into account: age, rank, military activity, current office, past responsibilities, state and port of their projects, recommendation from the Reichsführer SS. No detail is too minor. Okay. What if there's going to be some dumbasses in the comments who could go, priority list for who's going to get food in Burgundy? It's literally like the vaccine priority list. It's literally the same. Okay. What was I talking about? Food. Yeah. So anyway, I just like to make a lot of different stuff. Actually, I did a thing. So here was one of the funner moments I had cooking once. This was, of course, pre-Backstreet Boys reunion tour, and there was a friend of mine is super into politics. Nice, successful investigation, but it was a dead end. God damn it. Well, this was the Charlemagne thing, right? No. What was the dead end? This was on the Red Poppy thing. What's this? Coded message. Deep within the catacombs, after hours of exploring, our agents have found a bombshell. Located within a hidden alcove not marked on any maps lay the headquarters of our hidden resistance, apparently named Red Poppy. Inside was a printing press, weapon caches made of pipe bombs, and crudely constructed guns, as well as something incredibly interesting: a board filled with information on the Radomo camp and ways to attack it. The group is obviously planning something big. But the only lead we have right now to explain what that plan might be is a coded message taped up in the center, written in a code never before seen by our department, and signed with a mysterious H. To get to the bottom of this bombshell, we have 3 options. Is Himmler going to be behind the Red Poppy movement? Because isn't the Red Poppy movement... Well, I don't know if the Red Poppy movement specifically is, but wasn't there a whole thing we were talking about way earlier where we were going to create the illusion of a resistance movement and then try to find out who's in on that resistance movement so we could arrest them and pull them out of the camps and things like that? Wouldn't that be crazy if it turns out Himmler's behind it all? Because of the H. Let's see, find out where it was sent. 30% chance. I like those odds, actually. Suspicion is 100% though, so once we do, if this doesn't work, we need to go do some other things. Anyway, so anyway, I have a friend of mine who's super into politics. He doesn't follow sports, so he does politics instead. And let's face it, that's what it is. Politics is sports now, at least in the all over the world, but especially in the United States. It's about teams, anyway, so we were gonna he whether he likes the political parties or not, he likes to watch all the debates. So he'll watch the Republican debates, he'll watch the Democratic debates, the Libertarian Party debates, etc. And so and like it'll be a thing like we all like to just hang out, and so he'll invite people over, and we'll watch together, and we make jokes and stuff while we watch. So hold on a second. But then he gets mad because like he actually is invested in stuff really bad. So it starts with he'll be making more jokes than anybody, and then he gets very upset. Hold on a sec. Let me figure out what my next play here is. Loyalty to the SS will decrease. Crack the whip. We can increase into agricultural output at the cost of reduced loyalty. Well, I don't really care about either of these things actually. But let's we got to get to waste not, want not. Crack the whip. There's work to be done. From the laborers we must ask more, from the people we must demand more service. Heightened quotas and increased conscription shall become necessary measures. Increased conscription? What? Our loyalty and well-fed personnel shall ensure that the people do not get out of hand. Okay, what's this? The list of life. Let's do this real quick, and then I'll talk about what this has to do with me cooking, what a political debate has to do with me cooking. It seems that food production in the Ordensstaat has continued to decline slightly longer than anticipated. Of course, this is unlikely to inhibit our objectives in the long term, but for now we will have to institute rationing among the SS in order to not exhaust our food supplies even further. Priority lists will be drawn up, closely tied to the performance history and area and purity of individual SS units. Of course, while everyone has to make sacrifices, the greatest burden will be on our non-German collaborator legions. Although some might see this necessity as a threat to the already tenuous loyalty of these forces, our brilliant Reichsführer sees an opportunity within this challenge that by preferring some of our allies over others in the allocation of food supplies, we can help to strengthen the ties most useful to the Ordensstaat while weakening the capabilities of the other legions. Now, the only thing left to decide in which legions will have the honor of receiving the most supplies and attention. So I just pick who I want to work with us. I guess it's Charlemagne, right? The others fucking hate me, and I've already kind of fought them. Yeah, so of course it'll be buying Charlemagne to us. What's this? Deploy units. Oh, I forgot about these. Wait, hold on. Put these together. There we go. Stadtpflicht. No, they must be the Waffen. Okay. Okay. I don't want to steal civilian food supplies right now. Not because I have a problem with these shitty little civilians, but because I'm wanting to keep working on the uranium. We've got to still be thinking long term a little bit. Yeah, I just got to save up. Need another 60. And we're going to have to shift around some of these workers. Okay, so what I decided to do that particular day is I said, hey, I'm going to come over to your place, dude, and I'm going to cook. And because that's what some of us do, so we'll go to the other person's house and we cook for everybody. And so I said, I'm going to cook for us that night, and it's going to be a themed menu. So I think, excuse me. So that particular night, we were watching one of the Democratic Party debates, and so I decided I was going to make a themed food to represent every single candidate based on something about them. Like, it could be their policy, or their ethnicity, or whatever. So, for example, at the time, Elizabeth Warren was still in the race, and like, if you've heard one thing about Elizabeth Warren's platform at the time, you'd always hear the phrase fundamental structural change. So I decided I was going to do eggs and fundamentally change their structure. Now, I actually disappointed my friend who was hosting, because he went, "Are you going to make them into like a souffle?" And no, because I don't want to kill my wrist, because you got to... I've also got a way to make eggs where you whip them, and then they get fluffy, and then you can bake them in the oven, and that's it's like kind of already a souffle, but it's like you make egg biscuits. Anyway, never mind. Forget the outer circle. There's not enough for everybody, even within. What is a more noble and virtuous way for an Aryan to suffer than for the good of his race and nation? But like, I boiled the eggs, and also, many of you may know that Elizabeth Warren, she talks about, how much of her ethnicity is Native American. That's a pretty common thing. And so I decided to, but then it turned out it was a very small percentage. So I was going to do, like put some Indian spice on the boiled eggs. Just very little though. The thing is, before I could even do that, my friends started eating the eggs. They're like, they're not done yet, because I had peeled them, but they had already started eating them. So I didn't get to put the spice on there. And then, so like, what else did I do? Let's see. Yeah. Bernie Sanders was still in, and he's Jewish, right? So I made matzo ball soup. Then I also did, I'm trying to remember, this was like almost a year ago now, or maybe it was more, but yeah. So it was just a fun thing I did. I had all these recipes to represent all the various candidates. Fuck, why don't I remember what they were? I remember I had put thought into it, because there was a lot of them. I made a lot of food, but there was a lot of us coming over that day. But like, because there was something for Klobuchar, something for Buttigieg, something for Bernie Sanders, something for... let's see. Yeah, I had something for... what was his name? Bloomberg, Biden... Yeah, I had cooked a lot of food. I just remember at one point I had all four of my friends' stovetops going. Okay, waste not or want not. With such precarious commodity being managed so carefully, penalties for misappropriating it must be consequently adjusted to reflect its importance. To hoard or waste food in the middle of a desolate situation is the reemergence of the same degenerate ideas that underpin Jewish capitalism, using flawed judgment to place the individual's needs above that of the bulk. The same approach must be taken. Negligent waste will result in arrest and interrogation by the Gestapo. Intentional waste or hoarding will merit a far more intensive process. So this will help our monthly food production. So that's good. We're going up. But we're about to start dealing with deterioration, neither of which is actually getting better. How do we... I think we need to maybe increase the size of the silos or whatever. Final measures, gets event, Burgundian bounty. Well, we're going to have to come down here, so within a few months, hopefully, we could kind of get things together. What are we going to do? Who gives a damn? Alright. How's it going in Russia? Nothing's going on. What is this? Mikhail Oktan? Described as a complete bastard. It's a new and dark chapter in Russia's history. Few would have foreseen his sudden rise to power. What is this? As a man who once enjoyed the full confidence of the Germans, there's no telling what horrors he might have in store for the peoples of Russia. So this is some Samara stuff, right? I think that's going on. I'm not entirely sure how all that works. Oh, geez, I didn't realize how much political power I have. Ah! Okay, uranium. Okay, wait. No, where do we check that? I haven't been doing industry things either. Okay, we still have some untapped uranium here in Centrosud. We need to go to the domestic stuff. Okay. There we go. Now we can expand the mines. Wait, not really though. Oh, it's because I've only got like 50 coming in at a time. There we go. Okay, expand that. Come on! Alright, intensify forced farming. Food production will increase by 300 units. This costs command power. Monthly skilled workers' growth will decrease by 20. Loyalty to the SS will decrease. Oh, let's get a few of these going then. Let's do like 1, 2... And that's all we got, because I don't have the command power for more. But yeah, we'll try to get that up. Waste not or want not. Unlock decisions to allow us to modernize our agriculture at the expense of other societal foundations. This primary schooling has been in free fall for a while. We should be okay, though, for a bit. The Great Caucasian Revolt. With the death of King Josias, his heir has failed to swiftly reassert his authority across the country. Numerous native rebel groups have taken the opportunity to rise up, hoping to secure independence from their tyrants. It is beyond question that the rebels are proud patriots who despise foreign imperialism. Whether they will succeed or join history's long line of failed Caucasian rebellions, however, is another question entirely. So Josias has died, and this is his son, Wittgenkind the First. This is another nation with no tree as of yet, but looking forward, you know, keeping, and we're gonna put a pin in the Caucasus region for later. Anyway, so this has been Cooking and Food with Conquering History Games. I will see y'all later. Yeah, see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.